Okay, so we're gonna be making a relatively cheap and easy granola. I have a ton of oats that I need to use up because they've literally been sitting in there for like a year or more in my cabinet. And I'm like, what can I do? I don't really like eat oatmeal. So I was looking up a few recipes for like granola, but I didn't want to spend like tons of money getting like all these different nuts and things. I did go out to get like a coconut, almond, chocolate chip, and walnut mix, and this was like $6. And I got some hemp parts. That is all that I spent on this. Everything else I have myself. Brown sugar, vanilla, and some oil. So we're gonna measure out the ingredients. In a clear bowl, I'm gonna scoop out 3 cups of oats. There's a chance I might double this, but I'm gonna start with a single serving and see how much that looks like, because I've never really made this before. And then if I think I can make more, I'm just gonna double the whole recipe. So it's 3 cups. 1, 2, 3. And then you want to do 1 to 2 cups of add-ins, as in your nuts, flax seeds, stuff like that. Now this is a mix, so I'm gonna actually have to. I don't want to grind up the chocolate because these are whole nuts and whole shredded coconut. So I need to physically go in and separate it, but that's not hard to do when you're doing 2 cups worth. So I'm just like picking out almonds. I'm trying to omit, I guess I could put the coconut in there, but I don't want to put the chocolate chips in because I feel like they'll just get so ruined. But there's pecans in here too. So I'm just trying to leave out the chocolate chips, and I'll add those in separately. And I'm going to blend this up in my Vitamix. You can kind of see it in the background on the counter there. Chocolate chip. I'm going to do 2 cups. I'm just going to do a rough chop. I just don't want whole nuts in the mix. So it's 1 cup. I also have this. It has a lot of dried fruit in it. This is just something I had in my house. There's a few different nuts in here. So I'm going to add those in, some cashews. Try to keep the fruit out. I just want to add those separate because the berries are already tiny. Okay, so this is 2 cups of nuts. Might be a few chocolate chips in there. And I'm going to pulse this on my blender. Okay, these are really big chunks, so I just want to get them down to like 1/3 of what you see here. And I'm just going to pulse them on the blender. Start low. Let's see what I have here. There's some crumbs in there, but it's a pretty rough chop. The pieces are still like dime-sized in there. Okay, so we're just gonna add that right in. There's some little bits in there that got caught, so I'm just gonna loosen them up. Okay. And I do want some nuts, some dried fruit and chocolate. So you want to do like 1/2 cup of that. So I'm just gonna go in and pick out again some of the dried fruit. I have cranberries here, dates, apricots. You can use any fruit you have. You don't have to use fruit. This is just, like I said, a little mixture I already had in the house. And there's chocolate chips in here, and I definitely want some of those, so it'll be a little tedious taking this all out, but like I said, I just wanted to work with what I had and not put a lot of money into it. Because mostly I'm just doing this to use up these oats. If it turns out good, I'll probably make it more. I guess if you have any kids or anything, you could use them to help you separate all the fruit and nuts. A little busy work. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm trying to do this for recipe purposes. I'm gonna put this all down in the description so you guys know exactly like how much I used. I'm eating a cashew. Okay. About half a cup of miscellaneous fruit and chocolate chips. And I don't have a microwave in my house, so I'm gonna have to melt down the coconut oil. You can use a quarter of a cup of coconut oil, butter, any kind of oil that you have, or maybe a high heat, you can avocado oil. It's cold here, so this is all solidified, the coconut oil. I also have my oven already preheated to 300, but I'm gonna go melt this on the stove. I might need to add more, so I'm gonna leave this out. And when you want to use some kind of sweetener, you can use honey, you can use agave, you can use maple syrup, you can use normal sugar, you can use brown sugar. I'm using brown sugar. And how much is that? Quarter of a cup as well. Oh, and I'm choosing to use vanilla extract. You can use different sweeteners. You can use almond extract. They're always so hard to open. You want to use 1 to 2 tablespoons of a sweetener. You don't even have to use this in conjunction with your sugar, but I am. My oil's hot and I'm just combining brown sugar, the vanilla extract, and breaking up this brown sugar because it's kind of chunky. Okay, next I'm going to combine the oil and the oats. I wiped that off the floor. I might need more oil, but we'll see. We put our fruit in, mix it up. Okay, and I forgot to add the salt. And the mixture doesn't seem completely wet. It almost seems like damp and piecey. If that'll help anyone. I'm gonna put some hemp hearts in. I forgot to do that. I don't know, maybe 4 tablespoons. Good protein. I want to put it down on some parchment because I don't want to risk this sticking. And one of the most important things about making granola is you do not want to burn your oats. It ruins the recipe. All that money, all the nuts, the oil, it'll all be wasted money. Do not burn it. We're gonna pop this in the oven at 300 for 10 minutes. And I don't think I was clear about this. So this thing is going to bake for a total of 30 minutes. I'm gonna do 10 minutes to start, and then in 5-minute intervals, you're going to mix it each additional 5 minutes, reaching to the 30-minute span total. Okay, now we start our 5-minute intervals. So every 5 minutes, you're just gonna turn it or mix it. The main thing is not to let the granola burn. It'll ruin it. Okay, so we just do that 4 more times and the granola should be ready. My little nightly snack, I'm having Greek yogurt and my granola.